That Ferrari is, there's a Ferrari just spun at Puon. I'm not too sure which one it was. I'm going to scroll down and see who it was. I think it was Atlantis and WR Phoenix that both having a bit of a moment through Puon. Both
Yeah.
Ferraris quite unstable. But yeah, if the line does get dry enough, we're going to see Inters, and that's when I'm going to see the fastest laps as well.
Yes, so we won't be seeing the fastest lap times for Xbox unless the other tiers rain as well. I swear I bring the curse everywhere I go in ILR sometimes in Belgium, but hey ho. But anyway, we have got a few people on their laps at the moment. Looks like the Ferraris probably won't be on a fast one due to their mistake. Let's look. I think Steerage was on one a moment ago. No, he's just about to start his flying lap. So let's just go on board. I'm actually going to check to see if he's on this flying lap. Yes, he is. Now, due to the fact that it's wet conditions, they can afford to have low ERS around here. But this makes going through Eau Rouge and Radion really, really difficult because of the wet conditions. So they can't afford to go that flat out, and they've got to be a little bit more conservative on the throttle, which is look like what Steerage is doing at the moment. These guys haven't had much practice in the rain either, so this should be interesting as Steerage just starts Sector 2. Sector 1 was looking very clean from Steerage there. He's doing quite well in the championship. He's actually leading the championship by 26 points. So the championship fight is still there, and his rival APS Hamilton, actual APS teammates, are fighting for the championship. So they'll be probably pretty impressed about that. But anyway, he is going to, I think, about to start Sector 3 pretty soon. I think we could expect the lap times to be around about the 2 minutes, if I'm right. I'm not entirely sure.
Atlantis just had a half spin there, sorry, he hit a wall with both of his right tyres. I think he got away with no front wing damage, so he's just going to carry on.
Yeah.
It's worth finishing the lap. Anyway,
Yeah.
in case the rain does get heavier again, because of course there is it has been quite overlooked in F1 2018, but of course there is stormy conditions now above heavy rain, which I don't think many people know actually exists, because you see it mostly at Silverstone. I've seen it. To give you an idea of how bad stormy conditions are, from Chapel you can't actually see Stowe. That's how hard it can rain in this game now.
Whoa.
So this isn't part of the heaviest conditions we could get, but I think stormy conditions are quite rare anyway, so it may get lighter as the session goes on.
Yeah, I think it is starting to get lighter as APS Steerage just set a very good lap actually. It was looking fast from when I was riding on board with him, a 158.0, which is incredibly fast in those wet conditions. Just goes to show that he is good whatever the conditions are. Oh, ADOS has retired. Don't know what happened there. He probably binned it somewhere, but I can't really see because I can't really check. But I think it was either in Sector 1 or Sector 3 because it's yellow flag in those sectors. So it's either one of those. So probably either in the bus stop or through Eau Rouge and Radion. It's probably the most likely suspects, or through the top of the hill.
Yeah.
But I really don't
I
know.
didn't see either of where those yellow flags were, but I have a feeling mostly where people are losing it are like the fast corners, like Blanchimont, Puon, Radion, and sometimes they just might squeeze on a little bit too much power. Like I'm very guilty of doing some of the time, like through corners like Bruxelles and Lecombe and things like that.
Yeah.
So we'll see quite a bit of sliding about in the first 10-ish minutes, then people are going to start to grip up, as I think it has gone down to light rain now.
Yes. So probably Inter's time at some point pretty soon. So they'll probably be going to the pits. As that's probably why Steerage just had a very good lap in the 158s, and also Nardi's retired as well. So I think not many people have practice for these because I think they weren't expecting rain. So whoever said if it was going to be wet, all bets are off, I think they jinxed everyone in the session. So I don't know who said that in the chat earlier, but yeah, luckily I wasn't the person that was jinxing the weather tonight. So yes, but and Steerage just set another fastest lap on those wet tyres. So yeah, as you can tell, these conditions are getting ever better at the moment. But I think probably go out for a few more stints and then probably pit for some intermediates, because I think I can see some drops of rain, but it's not that heavy at the moment. But we are seeing some puddles right now. So, yeah, I think we've got Dark Phoenix in the pits, and there's no DRS at the moment. So all they're going to rely on is pure pace, which is going to be difficult for him.
Yeah, I doubt there will be any DRS in this session. I don't know what the weather's going to be like for the race, but if it's raining the race as well.
Steerage has just cut
Who
that.
was that?
Steerage just cut that corner ever so slightly there, but I think it was on his in lap. So.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that.
So, yeah, especially in Belgium as well, you're going to have to be careful what tyres you put on because, of course, being the longest lap in the calendar by quite a long way, it's 7 kilometres long, just over 7 kilometres long. You have, if you stay out a lap too long or go in a lap too early, you've got to do an extra 7 kilometres, possibly on the wrong compound of tyre. By the time you come back round, you could have lost maybe like 5 or 6 seconds, just sort of squirming around in conditions that aren't really meant for the tyre that you're racing on.
Yeah.
Of course, that is going to be an issue for some of the guys, as I think it is Inter time now.
Yep, it is Inter, as I think Atlantis is going to go on his next set of tyres on the Inters. Yes, he is. I think he's the first one to make the move. And I think literally people are just going to the pits, changing tyres, then coming out again. That is just a quick switch, I think. Or are they going to wait until the conditions improve even more? APS Hamilton's also going on a set of Inters as well. And I think Fusion's already struggling on these wet tyres. So yes, the wet tyres, not the best tyres to be on right now. So if I was them, if they're still out, pit and change it for Inters, because I think that is a tyre to be on, as I think Atlantis has gone in. Yeah, he's going on the Inters, AJH on Inters as well then. And the tyres for the race is going to be supers, soft and mediums, and it's going to be a one stop wherever you do. So that is, because obviously there's no ultra softs this weekend, so whatever tyres you go on, it's going to be a one stop. You can go on super soft to medium, super soft to soft, or soft to mediums. It is entirely up to the driver. Different mix of strategies. That's why I like Belgium so much. I think Jason deserves a little bit much more luck this weekend, because he didn't do too well last week. I think he retired last week after a few incidents, but he's hopefully to bounce back this week in the McLaren. Oh, that was a bit of a big slide there. I don't think it's going to be an incredibly fast lap time. Nope, he's in P8, so that's where he is at the moment. APS Hamilton's on his out lap. Who is anyone on the Inters that is on a lap at the moment? I think
Atlantis is about to go on a lap.
Yes, so hopefully he can improve and not have a calamity like he did in his flying lap they had earlier on those full wet conditions, I've got to say. But we're keeping our fingers crossed here to see what happens. Now, we're already in a halfway point.
A lot more traction. Yeah, a lot more traction on the Inter tyres. I'm starting to notice Atlantis got really good drive off of that last corner.
Yes.
And the advantage to the wet tyres and the intermediate tyres is a lot of these guys would have fueled up their car more than they normally would have, because obviously you've got a much thicker tread on the wet and Inter tyres to compensate for all the sliding around that you're going to do. And you can... Oh,
that was a bit of a slide.
Doing a mega save then. That was a mega save. I'll give him that. He's come back out of it again. He's gone into the zero battery mode. But yeah, you could probably do on the Spa probably 2 or 3 flying laps before the tyres aren't... Well, they'll still be raceable, but they won't be sort of quali performance still. So you can do a few laps on the Inter or wet tyres. And as far as I know, with strategy, the only 2 tracks that are quicker on a 2-stop are Kota and Hungary. Although I did try it once, as Atlantis goes for another half spin, getting out of the way at the same time. I did try it at Belgium once when I wasn't as competitive, and I will be honest, I was only around 3 seconds behind the person I was previously battling with, who was doing a 1-stop. So around Belgium, I'd say around even. It's not that much difference.
So it doesn't look like it's going to be a fast lap for Atlantis, as he's sliding. He was sliding a bit all over the place again. So it just goes to show, even in those inter conditions, they are difficult. As I think Steerage is about to start his lap. Hamilton's in the middle of his, and he's already on the flyer, which is good. Very, very impressed with what he's doing so far. as he's going. Oh, I spoke too soon. He just went a bit wide there, as I think he's probably going to maybe abort this lap or go a bit slower. I don't know, but we shall see at some point. But hopefully, I think steerage is on a lap at the moment, as I think he was already faster going through Aero Show. Yeah, the conditions are improving. It's not going to be dry, unfortunately, so they just got to make the most of what they have, really. I think everyone from the bottom 6 downwards is pitted, except Cal at the moment. And obviously we had 2 people that are not set a lap time. They'll be starting from the pits. And yeah, everyone that's out is on inters, except Leper, who is still in the pits right now. But I think he's going to rake for a good moment. But it is all to play for in qualifying. We're still 4 minutes to go.
Of course, I'm not sure why. A lot of people seem to be running a lower battery setting on their flying lap, like 1 and 0, and I'm thinking, I know Belgium's long, but you can still take liberties in the rain, because obviously you're lifting and coasting a lot more. You can run a higher battery mode, so I'm not exactly too sure why a lot of drivers aren't doing that. But again, each their own. I'm not driving these cars at the moment. It's completely up to these guys how they want to drive, and if they can get performance out of it, then fair enough.
Yeah, it is entirely up to them, and it's also entirely up to their experience of how they can handle ERS in these wet conditions. Usually I would expect people to go on mode 3 in the wet conditions, possibly push it to 4, but it'll be highly unlikely, as I think Steerage is about to cross the final corner. He would just pass the bus stop, which is quite difficult to negotiate. It's going to be a fast lap time, but I think not close for comfort yet, because I think I've seen people go faster in inters in around Belgium, and just like that, Dark Phoenix has gone around about 1 second fast, 1 second faster than Steerage, as he's on provisional pole in the Ferrari, so he has improved. So I think Steerage will probably have to go on for 1 more lap in order to improve. I'm seeing Easy Fusions on going across the line at some point. That's looking like really fast. What is the lap time he going to set? He is going quicker with a 156.2. Can we see people going to the 155s? I think we can. Oh, Dark Phoenix has just bottled where most people have bottled it yesterday around Radion. That is not the best place to bin that, but luckily he set a lap time already. But I don't think he's going to have time to go into the pits and then go for another lap. So I think he's going to make do, as he's already looking quite slow he might be on his in lap. So if that's the case, then that's alright, but unfortunately he can't improve. But Easy Fusion there, that was a very good lap there. He might have time to do 1 final lap, but we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully maybe Steerage's teammate can go a bit faster, but we shall see. So I can't call who's going to get pole. I need to say Paul there, Jesus Christ. But anyway, I can't really call.
Thunder about to come across the line.
Oh yeah, Thunder. Oh, he's got
and
pole.
goes fastest.
So yeah, I think every minute, I think as soon as the qualifying counts down, the rain seems to be coming down less frequently. So if you're not on the track now, then you're probably not going to get good lappers. I think Leper's not going to set a lap either. Steerage is about to cross the line. It's looking really fast lap for him. He's 154.8.
Wow.
2 seconds faster. That's a machine in those wet conditions, to be honest. So props to him for that one. It's a tough call for anyone to beat that lap, I've got to say, in the wet, but it is doable. But it's not impossible, but it is really tricky. That was another slide from Steerage there. Hopefully that doesn't happen in the race.
Great
that
save.
was a good save. Because you didn't want to bin it in the wall, and then because I think you'll have time to challenge again. I think Easy Fusion. It's not going to be fast. I think he's going to have time for. Yeah, he's going to.
Atlantis about to come across the line as well.
Yep, Atlantis.
Seems he's had a much more planted lap than he has done in the past. Very good traction out there. He's got a very locked diff, but I think he validated it, so he's going to go again.
Yeah, because I think I saw the lap time like 6 minutes, because I think it was invalidated. But we got about 20 seconds to go now. I think Steerage will have time to set another lap. Yes, he will. Don't Thunder is on a lap, but I don't think it's going to improve. He's 1 second.
It's Easy Fusion backwards.
I think he was going to try El Rouge backwards then, but that'll probably be against the rules. So, yeah, quite a common place to bottle that. So, I don't think he's going to get pole. But all Jason's in P2 in the McLaren, so a good lap for him. Advantage, he crossed on the line just 1 second before the timer ran out. So he has a chance to go for one more lap. And I can tell you, I think Jason's going to probably have a much faster lap and it's going to probably challenge steerage. No, he's not. No, he's not. I think I jinxed him. So, yeah, he's not going to get pole unless he can find a few temps in that first sector. And I think steerage has gone faster again. A 1:54.2. Don't find us in the pit, so he won't improve.
Yeah, it seems at the moment whoever sets their lap last is gonna have the best track conditions, and it's probably gonna go way up the board.
Yeah.
I think ILR3 Jason is on a lap. Easy Fusion's lost his wing. He's not on a lap. Blazing Slender's on a lap. Atlantis on a lap as well. Infinity's not on a lap, so people to look for. Atlantis, Blazing Slender, and
it was Jason, but
ILR3 Jason, even though he's running no battery.
No, he was running no battery because he bottled it into Eau Rouge, or Radion. So, but I can hardly see any rain right now. So if the session went on for another 5 more minutes, they probably would have switched on to a set of softs. But I still see drops of rain. Blazing Slender goes across the line. What lap time is he going to set on? It's not going to be for pole, but what is it? Ninth place. Yep, it's invalidated, unfortunately, but it wasn't faster anyway. Easy Fusion, no, it's not. Easy Fusion's lap time is slower. Jason's about 3 seconds down. So I think that's your pole decided. Steerage is your pole man for Belgium, as Jason had a bit of a slide there, but luckily he recovered. And Jason still takes P3, which is still a reasonable feat for him, because he's looking to improve from his result last week. As we don't know what the weather's going to be like. I was going to check before the race, but I may as well be surprised. And it's more than likely I think it's going to be a dry race, because I think I had a few comments in the chat saying, is it going to be wet or dry race? I don't know, so we shall have to wait and see for that one. So what a good lap from Steerage, as he's well known to do well in wet conditions, I've got to say. And the last race where it was raining, which was in Baku, he won. So it's looking to be a very strong result from him again. As I think we're about to get the standings up for qualifying, just to see how close it was. So just give us a second. But my calls for the race is going to be anyone's game. But I think Steerage is going to be the one to beat. But he takes pole ahead of Hamilton, 1/10, which was pretty good. And the rest of the field is by 1 second, so not as close as we would have liked. Jason in third, Dome Thunder in fourth, Fusion in fifth, Dark Phoenix sixth, and then followed by Atlantis, Cal, Blazing Slender, rounding up the ones who have set a time, with Sinandy, Ados, Leper, and AGH not setting any lap times. So yeah, so that's a shame for the ones who didn't set lap times, but well done. So Steerage got pole there, and I think we just had confirmation from someone who is in the YouTube chat who is a driver. It looks like it's going to be a dry race. So, probably a relief. Okay. Cloudy race, by the looks of things, according to...
Oh my god, what is going on in the background?
Yeah.
Am I the only one who saw that?
No, I saw that as well. There was someone that had this car on the McLaren there. Did you see a Williams
bouncing across the track?
Yeah, I saw that. Did any of you guys see that in the chat? Jeez. But yeah,
they're bouncing away on the grid.
Oh my word, this is going to be... So, one-stop strategy for these guys, like we said, and a chance for people to warm their tyres efficiently. And the reason why they're taking so long is because they had that tough decision on whether they want to start on supers and pit a few laps earlier, or start on the softs and stretch out your stint a bit more. And they're taking a long time than usual, so... it must be a very difficult decision, as one driver's decided to ready up. But making that important decision is very crucial. If you get it wrong, it can definitely cost you in the race. So, Any thoughts in the chat? Let us know who you think is going to win this race. Who you think is going to get the strategy right? As we are about to start soon, hopefully. Yeah, we're just waiting on a few more drivers. I think we go on the formation lap. Yes, we are. Almost forgot because the first time I commentated in a week is last night. So here we go. So we got tyres up. Oh, so no one's qualified on the super softs, which I think is a smart move from all drivers. I think everyone's on the softs except AJH, and Zanardi's been disqualified already for the session. So yeah, it looks like it is going to be a one-stop for definite. Unless people go into the pits.
Everyone's on the same tyre, wow.
Pardon?
Everyone's on the same tyre. I think that's the first time I've ever seen that at the start of a race.
No, AJH's on the mediums.
Oh, okay. The reason it says me on the softs. But yeah, anyway, when I was... Oh yeah, I see that now it's changed. It's finally changed. But I was watching a classic Singapore race the other day, because I was commentating Singapore yesterday, and it hit me... last year's pole time was a 1:36 flat, wasn't it? And then
let me just check quickly. Belgium.
I think it was a 1:36 flat. And around 4 laps in, I was watching the 2010 race on Fernando Alonso 1. And around 4 laps in, Martin Brundle said, "There you go, Fernando Alonso, fastest lap of the race with a 1:51.6." And it just shows how much F1 cars have come in like the last 8 years.
Yeah, and I'm just checking. I think in the 2018 pole in real life was a 1:58, but that was I think in the wet. So I'm just trying to see. And in the game, it's definitely faster in real life, as we've seen last night. As I think. Yeah, I can't really check. Oh yes, I can. There we go. I'll check. 2017.
Oh no, I was talking about
Hold on.
around Singapore, I think.
Oh, Singapore.
Not Belgium. Yeah, I was talking about around Singapore.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Laptop.
it shows how much faster modern F1 cars are.
Yes, definitely. I think the regulations. I think in 2019 is going to be interesting as well. See how the teams handle it, but we will find out at some point soon, as I think all the cars are starting to line up on the grid, as APS Steerage is about to take his place on the hot seat, if you like, of the race. He is going to lead the field away, hopefully going into turn 1, as the AI are going to take control as per usual, as we've got APS Steerage in P1, Hamilton in P2, and Jason in 3rd. Oh, looked like a jump start for a minute there. We've got 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And it is away we go in Belgium there. And it looks like APS Steerage is on to a good start, but Hamilton got a much better run going into turn 1. And I think Jason's almost lost a few positions there as well. Let's see if there's anything going on at the back. Oh, looking very clean going so far going into turn 1. But the tricky thing here is, can they make it past El Rouge ever so nice? I think someone's went a little bit wide in El Rouge, and Aiden and Zanardi are out. As they were tied in a Radion. So, yeah, they've gone. I think they overestimated it a little
Hamilton
bit.
just swooped around the outside into the lead, by the way, into Lecom. That was a round the outside, bit of a Sergio Perez move then. But obviously quite a bit of friendly nature between these two guys, because obviously they are in the same league. They got the league in their gamer tag, for God's sake. So these guys will tend to be clean with each other, because if they're not, I can see quite a bit of fire.
Yes, as I think Morgan in the chat, the one who commentated for the race last week, has predicted that I think this battle is going to go on for quite a while. I think I think Jason almost lost position from Fusion. He's under pressure from Fusion going through sector 2 there, which is quite tricky to negotiate. Dark Phoenix was trying to cover off Fusion as well, and I think Fusion went a little bit wide there. That's giving Dark Phoenix a really good opportunity. Oh my word!
That was... Oh.
Fusion, what have you done? He is out of this race. As I think he must. I don't know what happened there. He must have collided with someone, but I don't know. So that was if it was real life, I don't know what the chance of surviving is. But luckily it's not real life, it's games. So yeah, that is not the best way to start a race, I've got to say. But Jason doing well. Dark Phoenix in 4th. Yeah, sorry.
AJH somehow managed to get away from that without any damage. Somehow, I think they. I'm not sure what happened. It looked like Easy Fusion lost it on the curb a bit. AJH saw an opportunity, went up the inside, all fair and square, and then they just went a bit too tight on each other, and in turn sort of squeezed each other into the wall. It says yellow to sector 1.
Oh! AJH just lost his front wing.
Oh, well, he's got damage now. Whatever happened.
I literally didn't quite see what happened there, but I think it was covered on the stream, but I was looking much in the chat. So let me just look at the stream quickly to see what he'd done. Because he was looking alright going into turn 1, and I think he just took a wrong line. Oh yeah, he just took a very wrong line going into our rouge there. As he just spinned it into the wall. But luckily, he's going to find it really hard to limit to the pits, but at least he hasn't got a punch or anything like that. But Dark Phoenix, he's on a charge. He's lost their 4th from Dome Thunder. He's on the charge as well. We can see these two battling for the rest of this race as well. There is Easy Fusion is not happy with his result. He's in the chat right now. He got clipped into the wall and hit the wall and bounced on the track as AJH earlier on took a very interesting line going through the top of the hill there, and a similar line to what Steerage did in his one of his qualifying laps, which was his in lap. As Dark Phoenix around about 2/10 behind Dome Thunder as APS Hamilton just set the fastest lap of the race. Then Chaos Central already in Spa. We are on lap 3 out of 22, as we could expect people on those soft tyres probably pit around about laps 10 to 12 is probably the pit window for those, because that's what we could expect. But Steerage, I think, is a little bit too further back to challenge Hamilton at the moment, and I think Jason's a bit too further back for Jason already. Hamilton had the better start going into turn 1 of lap 1, and then he had a really good move at the top of the hill in lap 1. That's why he's in his position right now. So he's already controlling this Grand Prix, as he is showing he's one of the best drivers in this league at the moment, and it is all to play for here.
Yeah, just going back to the start, I think the thing happened with Aiden and Zanardi on the first lap. Zanardi on the grid just didn't get away at all well. He got a bit of a Mark Webber start, but and then I think Aiden tried to overtake him up Eau Rouge, and then, well, most of the time overtaking up Eau Rouge doesn't go very well, and they just saw both Magnusson into the barrier, and that was the end of that.
Yeah, so that was a bit of a shame from Zanardi, because obviously he didn't set a lap in qualifying, and he retired in lap 1, so he didn't get much track run in Belgium at all this weekend. So probably that practice he has had was for nothing, which is a bit unfortunate, but hopefully he can recover from next week. Steerage is starting to close on to Hamilton. He's now 9/10 behind him, so he's found some pace somehow, as he's just set the fastest lap of the race so far. So he is managing his soft tyres a lot more than APS Hamilton by the looks of things. Dark Phoenix is 9/10, and I think we've got Ados in the pits, as I think we got Blazing Slander will move up to P8 because of that. What happened with Ados then? Because pitting on lap 3 is not normal for a set of Sauce. We'll just see what happens. It's probably a change in front wing. Yes, it is a change in front wing. He must have got caught up into contact, which happened earlier on, which is a bit of a shame. As I think AJ pitted a lap ago. As Steerage lost a bit of time going through the hill there. Not much other battles happening at the moment. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. And Morgan just pointed out in the chat, and I do agree with that, setups are crucial for this race, and possibly in qualifying, they may have still run that right setup, and maybe they forgot to change to a dry setup and not check the weather. It's very important to check the weather before you do qualifying, because that's what type of setup you have on this race. But that's probably why a few people probably tried a balanced setup to start with. As I think Jason already had a time penalty. And yeah, that's why Hamilton, I think, got the better start due to the fact he had a much better setup. So that is crucial, especially if it's a wet qualifying and the dry race. You got to decide which setup you got to do best, really. Would you want to have a better qualifying lap, or would you want to have a better race? If I was you, probably have a better race setup, and that will help you do well. But Steerage is still doing very well to try and keep up with APS Hamilton. But yeah, I definitely agree with what Morgan was saying in the chat there. Setup is key around Belgium.
Yeah, particularly around if you have a wet qualifying, it's particularly difficult to get right, because obviously when it's wet you want to have as much grip as possible, and on faster tracks you also want to have as much straight line speed as possible. So you've got to find a bit of a compromise. Do you want one or the other? Normally I tend to go for the straight line speed, because then that comes useful in the race. But if you want to go downforce and try and get pole, that's completely up to you. But yeah, you tend to have a better weekend if you stick with the downforce side of things.
Yes, I agree.
I mean, straight line speed.
Yes, because downforce, I think, especially around a Rouge and Radion, is critical, because you can't really go that much flat out. As Steerage is already finding some time on Hamilton. I think this battle of the lead is going to get very, very interesting at the moment. Jason still managing to hold on to P3 with Dawn Thunder in at P4. So the top four are showing their mettle here. Is that Ada's got another time penalty. We're already starting to see a lot of time penalties here in Spa, which is not the best I see. So yeah, and Morgan was also saying Camel straight with wet setup in the dry will be horrible. Yes, it would be, and that is probably why Zanardi and Aiden retired on the first lap, because they probably kept that wet setup from qualifying, and that affects them in the race. I don't think Steerage is going to use DRS at the moment, because if he would be a little bit too further back to make the move on Hamilton. But you may find it going through across El Rouge and going past Radion now, and you got to get this right, which them two seem to be doing very well indeed. They must have had a lot of practice here at this moment. If you just join us, welcome to the ILR3 race on the Xbox tier. Eidos has just pitted onto a set of mediums, and so has Atlantis. So they're going to see they can try and get that to the end of the race with a bit of a push. I did see someone do that in PS4 last night. It was a bit of a gamble, but they still managed to make it to the end of the race. So apart from the lead, there's nothing going on towards the back of the pack at the moment. They're all just running their own race as the gap is starting to tumble. But we will watch Dark Phoenix actually at some point as well, because that gap will start to close on as well. So he's got to find some attempts to see if he can catch up to Dawn Thunder, which it is possible. Cal's 2 seconds behind Leopard, but apart from that, not much happening at the moment. Going through this, as Hamilton was a few attempts down on that second sector there, which has probably helped Steerage a little bit. Now this corner is going to be very tricky to get. I'm just going to see if it gets the and AJH has got another penalty as well. But I think Steerage has got a better run as they just go through the bus stop chicane right now, going through the final few corners. Is he going to get DRS? He's at the right position at the moment, but a bit of a slide there from Steerage, who's probably lost a bit of pace, I think, from him, as he's going to go to turn one. No, he's not going to make the move stick at the moment. But I wonder who's going to pick first. Is it going to be Hamilton or is it going to be Steerage? Possibly they may alternate, but they're in different teams. So technically they can pit at the same time, but we will have to wait and see. But I think watch out on Dark Phoenix as well.
Yeah, with the pits, as Steerage actually pulls over to the right-hand side, if he manages to get it round the outside, I'd be quite impressed, because I would have thought he would have had more tyre deg than Hamilton, but no, he did. He's trying to do the move that Hamilton did on lap 1, and they're still going side by side. They've gone through all through the Lecombe chicane, but they come down to Bruxelles to try it again. He's trying to hang it around the outside as he tried to do, going into Lecombe. They're still side by side. Hamilton forces him off though. I think that was probably a wise move actually from Hamilton, because trying to go through side by side, possibly through Pouon, is a bit of a stupid move, but yeah. Good racing
Yeah,
from the two of them. I was
Hamilton.
surprised that Hamilton managed it. Hamilton. I was surprised that Steers managed to hang it around the outside. Because obviously he's been in that dirty air behind Hamilton for quite a long time. So those fronts are probably going to look a bit worse for wear than Hamilton's. In terms of strategy, I would have thought it would have been around like 8, 9, 10 that these guys pit. I doubt they'll pit at the same time because Steerage's mentality will be do whatever
The
Hamilton
opposite.
doesn't do.
Yes, and I think the reason why Steerage is closing in is because Hamilton pushes tyres to the limit in laps 1 and 2. But I think he has to try and conserve his tyres a little bit more. I think that's what he's trying to do. As, Steerage is a bit too further back as well. So maybe those two push their tyres a little bit too much, but they're going to choose to stay out for a couple more laps. By the looks of things, as we still got the top 8 still on the soft, so they're going to probably have mixed strategies, I've got to say. And it is quite difficult to overtake in Spa, I've got to say. Not much overtakes are done in Spa, but Steerage and Hamilton are managing to do that as they're going through the Camel Straight now. Steerage is finding about 4 tenths in that first sector already from his best, so that was good to see. And he's now 5 tenths behind Hamilton, but he's not going to make the move at the moment. He's playing it safe at the moment. A bit of a lock up from that as all Atlantis is out the race.
I'll have a look where that is real quick. I'll go on board with AJH.
That's what I'm doing. That's probably through the bus stop.
Whoa, that's not his car, is it? Oh, I think he might have just quit. I think he had enough.
Or it must have been through the bus stop. I don't know. Or he retired.
I think he might have lost it through. I think he might have lost it through Blodgement, lost his wing, and then just retired. Like, oh, I've had enough now. I think that was more what that was. I don't think that was a full-on crash. I think that was just more frustration than anything.
I think AJH is not giving up though. He's last in the finishes, but not giving up. But AJH has gone though now. If you're still out on the circuit, you'll get points now. So I think that will boost his motivation ever so slightly, even though he's last, to keep going. And I all know that too well, because most of the races I race at in league racing, I'm last, but I still keep going because you have to keep going, because there may be people in front of you that have a bad race than you, have front wing damage or something, and you can easily overtake them or something like that. So it's important to not give up, as I think Steerage is not finding enough pace to overtake him at this stage. So probably, I think he's going to wait till the pit stops, unless they can make their way through the Camel Straight. I think I've been proven wrong, because I think Steerage gets the better run going past that top of the hill, and I think, Steerage is in the lead of the Grand Prix. I think Hamilton's tyres have had enough, and if I was Hamilton right now, I'll probably go into the pits and see if Hamilton can make the undercut on Steerage soon. But I think that is good news for Steerage then. He's managing his tyres better than Hamilton, and that's probably going to work well for the constructors. I think he's the only one scoring for the constructors, so if he can gain maximum points, and we'll definitely go watch out for Jason as well, as a few people are pointing out in the chat. He's got a 6-second gap behind, so he may go long stint to around about lap 14 and then go on a bit of supers. I think he's going to go on supers, I'm not entirely sure, but if Jason goes on supers, he's going to be one to watch.
But I think because Hamilton's tyres have gone, he said, I'm just going to stay behind his rear wing and stay with him, because I think he rather handed that to him down the Kemmel. He didn't defend that nearly as ferociously as he did on the other attack a couple of laps ago, but they both stay out for the moment. I think they might be trying to both go for the super soft strategy, although actually when you look at it, they've got quite similar pace, because look how close Hamilton is to the rear wing of Steerage. There's 2 tenths in it.
That is pretty decent stuff. So Hamilton just managed to find a little bit more speed there. I think he was not pushing for a couple of laps, and now he is starting to push, and which is probably going to help him. Hamilton is going to probably make a similar move that Steerage did in the last lap. Yes, he does. So they made the same move. Steerage in lap 9, Hamilton in lap 10. What a move that was. That was clean. That was very clean. He didn't have much trouble doing that move. He made it look easy, and he's now back in the lead of this race. But Steerage is going to be on a hunt. He is still going to be on the back of him, and he's still going to want to see if he can try and overtake him. The battle for the lead is shaping up to be a very, very good one, and very exciting one for us commentators, because battle of the lead is probably the most exciting one. So should be pretty much awesome. But due to the fact that some people still out at the moment, probably they will be going for a super soft strategy, soft to super softs. Definitely the top 3 anyway. Maybe they might have been showing strategies, I don't know, but I think Jason, by looks of things, is probably going to go on a super soft. But will Hamilton and Steerage will? We shall see. It's important to get strategy right here. And I could expect if they were to go on to their mediums, they would probably pit now. But if they're not pitting now, they will probably go for a set of super softs. Nope, they're not pitting now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it looks like it's going to be a super soft. Probably around about laps 12 and 13, you could go for a super soft, because super softs do last about 7 or 8 laps. So around about lap 13, then that's where they can do it. Oh, we got a yellow flag in sector 2.
Oh, that was Cal. He's had a spin at pull on.
Oh no, that looked very
He's actually get going
unfortunate.
again. I don't think he's got any damage. You think he's fine?
Yeah, he looks fine at the moment. So he's still recovering, which is good to see. He's going to get 2 points if he stays like this, and he just pitted just a moment ago, so his tyres were getting a little bit cold. So anyway, just to let you know, the other 2 streams for Xbox are on Twitch. So if you want to check out the Twitch links, they are in the ILR Twitter. Apparently ILR1 had some problems with their stream, but it is back up. So if you want to check that out whilst you're watching this, they have posted a new link up, so you can watch that. So if you're wondering where the ILR1 stream is, on the ILR League Twitch channel. I nearly said Twitter channel, but Twitter doesn't have a live streaming service. Jeez. But anyway, as I think Steerage is still closing up to Hamilton again. This is going to be insane for those 2. But they can't afford to push it too much. But if their tyres are at a decent level and they know to go pit soon, they can push a little bit and then pit the next lap, and it won't matter. And that's probably what they're doing right now. As I think Jason dropped a pace a little bit on. Oh, and AJ's out as well. So I think that's probably. I really don't know.
Oh, Steerage.
That lost
Bit of a moment there, going into the bus stop. He almost went straight on. I think he's probably around 1.5 behind Hamilton now. Seems as though Hamilton, that tyre conserving has helped him quite a lot, because I think Steerage, trying to defend from Hamilton so hard, has overheated them rather than warned them, because he is starting to fall back a bit. He won't have DRS going down the Kemmel this time.
Yes, as I think Jason's going to the pits. Oh, he's got a stop go. He had a stop go, and he's not going for a set of super softs. He's going for a set of mediums. That is interesting. So the thought that we thought that he was going to go on to a set of super softs, no, he's not. So Jason thinks he can go into the end with these medium tyres, but I think he's going to compromise a lot of positions there. But he's the first of the leading bunch to pit, which means he could be the one to watch at the moment. But we shall have to find out. But I don't think, because of the gap between Leopard and Dope, I don't think it's going to be enough for Jason to take the lead. But we will find out once these 2 guys pit. Steerage and Hamilton are doing very well to balance their tyres. They're still going full out, and they're still getting grip or something, which shows how high caliber they actually are. So I'm actually very impressed. If I was them, I'll probably pit now, because I don't manage their tyres as well as them. But they are highly skilled, and they're doing very, very well. As I think, I thought I saw one person going to the pit space, staying out again. So yes, it looks like they're
definitely super softs now.
Yeah, definitely super softs. If they're not,
I think yeah. So go on.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Okay, I'll just go ahead. I was going to say, I think ILR3 Jason was going to go for the super soft strategy, but he just had so little grip left on those softs that he had to come back in for the mediums because he was just going to lose more time out there, staying out on the softs for a couple more laps, and he would just be going on the mediums. But that has meant that he's come out behind the Renault of Dun Thunder.
Yep, he has. As Dome Thunder is in 4th place. As, yeah, that is interesting. I think Dome Thunder pitted a few laps before Jason and has made that undercut work. So what a good move from Dome Thunder. As I think we could see a battle brewing, as I think Jason's got newer tyres, and but Dome Thunder's going to be like, no, you're not having that position that easy, you're going to work for it. And that's what these guys are doing. Oh, this is very tough, making that move work, as Dome Thunder was almost pushed off the circuit, but luckily they weren't. They're still on the circuit, which is good to see. Now it looks like Jason, what a move there from Jason. There's a bit of a slide from Dome Thunder. Jason's now back into 4th place. He's back in contention, but I think it just goes to show he's on newer tyres, and I think he's able to push a little bit more than what Dome Thunder is. But we can see that battle brewing going through towards the end of this race as well. So that is
Hamilton's
interesting.
in.
Hamilton's
and
in.
Steerage is in. They've done the same thing.
The battle of the pit crews.
But they have done the same thing.
The battle of the pit crews.
And I think they are going to both put on a set of supers. There's supers for Hamilton.
Yep, supers
and it's supers for steerage.
Yeah, so we have predicted it quite right, and so is Morgan in the chat as well. So, but looks like Hamilton came out in front of steerage, but that was due to the fact that he was leading the race beforehand anyway. But to be honest, steerage didn't know what Hamilton was going to do anyway, and I think he could have managed his tyres even more. So that is going to be a bit of a push to make those super softs last till the end. They can't afford to push that much, but Hamilton's already pulling away from steerage. He's around 1.9 seconds behind him, so that is going to be interesting. But is steerage going to find some ground? We could see, I think, fastest laps from Hamilton and steerage left, right and centre, since everybody's on a set of mediums except the top 3. Lepper, I think, still has yet to pit, so he's going to go on a set of softs, I think, as well. But he's going to come down, I think, in around P5 or P6. So
well, I'll say something. Jason has got past Dun Thunder, and quite considerably as well. He's already around 2 seconds up the road almost. So that's something we did miss, being a bit too focused on the pit stops of the top 2 drivers. I think. Was it you, or in the pit, steerage looked like he was held for a bit longer than he needed to be?
I don't know.
Because he came out with around a 2-second deficit to the Red Bull.
I really don't know. I didn't really notice what happened there. And just to point out, actually, if I was to go on a set of super softs, I would have probably pitted the next lap, not the lap just gone. So I think I was saying it. Well, they could gamble pitting when they did, but hopefully no punches will be from these 2 drivers. But they can afford to be a bit conservative. But there's a championship battle on our hands. The steerage, Hamilton is going to try and close into steerage in the championship. They're 1 and 2 respectively, and looks like if it goes Hamilton's way, he's going to close in by a considerable margin to steerage. As I think Jason, as Lepper's in the pits, Jason's now back up into P3, but I don't think he's going to catch up to the top guy. So pretty much he's got to try and defend off Dome Thunder in P4. But apart from that, pretty much the other positions probably pretty much going to stay the same, unless Dark Phoenix and Lepper can find some more time. And Lepper is opting for the same strategy as Hamilton and steerage. He is also on a set of super softs, so another one to watch out for, and possibly he could try and close into Dark Phoenix. He's already found about 2 temps already in that sector, as his best ever result, let me just check, was a P4 in Monaco and Canada. So he is looking to equal that tonight, but it is a tall order and he's already finding a lot of time. This is going to be insane for him, so maybe that strategy could work. I think he pitted when he needed to, but some of you guys in the chat may think differently. But we shall find out. Styria just found some considerably more time through that final sector there. So did Hamilton make a mistake, or just Styria was finding more time? I don't know. Or maybe it's just the fact that they
at the moment, because of the faster straights around like sort of Blanchimont, the main straight down to Eau Rouge and Radillon, and then of course Camel Straight. The person behind seems to have been just much faster at the moment, and the one in front can't really get away. We're seeing a bit of a Monza syndrome at the moment, where the slipstream is so powerful, you just can't get away from anyone. It's a bit like IndyCar at the moment.
Yes, it's all Styria just going to try and make a move on the Camel Straight. They're both side by side going through towards the top of the hill. Styria's got that move done. He had the better grip, and he did find a little bit more time in sector 3, which probably helped. Styria's just going to retain a lead, but for how long? This battle is probably going to swap. Oh, that was a lock-up from Styria. That's probably not done his tyres good. That's probably going to get Hamilton to try and close up a little bit. But I think the battle of the lead is probably... The lead's not going to be... It's going to change quite rapidly between these two drivers, I think. So, 1 minute we could see Hamilton leading, 1 minute we could see Styria leading. That's how close these two drivers are at the moment. As Leopard's now 2 seconds behind Dark Phoenix. Now 1 second. So, once this battle materialises, that could be a battle to watch out for, definitely. As I think he's going to try and go on for fastest lap already as well. As on lap 16 of 22, Hamilton has lost it there. He's now 1.1 seconds behind Steerage. So...
Yeah, I think he's had a couple shaky laps, but just because of the straights, I think he's going to have plenty of opportunity to catch back up again. He's still got 6 laps to do so, and we've seen plenty of battling in the first 6 laps of this race alone between these two, trading punches and places all over the time, as they both have a little simultaneous lock-up going into that corner. I wouldn't be surprised if ABS Hamilton, I think, will have DRS going down the straight. He's just in that second window, nowhere near a passing move opportunity, but he will stick with that DRS, I think. No, he won't. He's just outside of it. He was 1,000th outside of it, although, according to my timing, he's still got DRS.
Yep, he's still got... Let me just follow Leper then, going towards Eau Rouge. He's going ever so fast. He's probably going to have more of an advantage, as he's been on those super soft for 2 laps, as Dark Phoenix been on those mediums for 7. So out through the Camel Straight now. He's going to have DRS going through the top of the hill, and he makes easy work of that move. That was incredible. Unfortunately, the camera cut off for a little bit because we couldn't see the move in full action, but Leper in P5 already. That is absolutely remarkable from him, as he's going to try and find the time to see if he can close up to Dome Thunder and Jason. So this will be very, very interesting. He's 5 seconds behind him. Maybe he could try and close in, but it depends on how much he's pushed his tyres a little bit. Jason's still managing to hold on to P3, but if Dome Thunder can find a little bit more time, then maybe it is not his after all, but we shall find out. But we haven't actually looked also what penalties people have got, so we'll have to find out soon as well.
I tend not to spoil it.
No, we won't spoil it until the end. So
yeah. So
because I don't want to jinx anybody.
I'm just saying one thing I do like about F1 2018. I know doesn't really replicate real life, but is how much difference the tyres can make. Because when I was coming around Singapore yesterday in a different league, APS Hamilton and APS Series were both in it, and Hamilton left it a bit longer so he could pit on the super softs and everyone else on the softs, just as he did here. And because he had the fresher and softer tyres, he closed a 9-second gap in 3 laps, just to show how much of a difference tyres could make sometimes.
Wow, that is, to be honest, remarkable for these guys, as I think Siri is realising that this battle is far from over. He is fighting for all his might. Hamilton is fighting for all his might. This is going to be interesting to see who's going to come out on top between these guys towards the end. Their heart must be racing a million miles an hour now whilst they're driving through Spa. They got to be on it like a car on it. In my opinion, I think these two are pretty much going to be, I think, the ones in the championship fight. I think throughout the rest of this season, I think these two are going to be the ones to watch. Oh, we got yellow flag in sector 1. I didn't see who that was, unfortunately, so I didn't quite catch that. But it might be someone slowing down, so that's probably why. But I wonder if some of these guys are under-fueled. Looks like they're all right on fuel at the moment, so we don't see any amber warnings from these guys. Steerage is on a low ERS mode. Hamilton's on the highest ERS mode you can get, but he's a bit too further back, so he's got to recharge his battery when he can. Maybe he decided that maybe ERS Hot Mode 5 will be best for him, but I don't think it is at this moment in time. He's got to find his way to recharge it pretty soon. As steerage is already pulling away. It looks like it could be steerage's to lose or to gain here at this rate. But right now, Leopard's not gaining as much as we would like on those super softs. So I think because he pushed hard with Dark Phoenix, that's probably why he's got less grip at the moment. But he's still running pretty fast. So, but we haven't seen all the penalties for Jason and Dome Thunder. So he could potentially, he could be on for a podium if any of these guys get penalties. So we will have to find out. So we shall see about that. As we go to the final laps of Grand Prix, we've got with 3 laps to go.
Yeah, I'm not. Thing is, it's just oh, Hamilton. That was a save, but I think that's going to be it now.
Yeah.
He lost it going through the right-left chicane after Pouon. I think his rears might have gone. I think he might have overheated them a bit too much. That does mean steerage is now 3.5 seconds down the road, and I think that is going to be it in terms of battles for this race, probably, because the closest gap we've got is Jason and Dun Thunder, who is still 3 seconds apart. Unless somebody makes a major mistake, it might be done now.
Yeah, so it looks like the order, I think, is going to stay as it is for these final 2 laps. Possibly a gamble that Hamilton take. He may have pushed it a little bit too hard when starting on those super softs. And that allowed steerage to overtake him and get the job done. And he was on high ERS mode as well when he was trying to see if he can try and make the move. So that's probably what's cost him at this moment in time. So we'll just have to find out about that one. As I think, yeah, pretty much the gaps are pretty much Dome Thunder's closing on to Jason. So it'll be interesting to see how that's going to work. How's he closing on to Jason?
So their pace has flipped.
Yeah, he is doing very well. As Jason has been on the tyres, 2 laps less than. Oh no!
That is exactly where Hamilton went.
Yeah,
outside of the right-left chicane.
As Blazing Splendid.
I can't remember what it's called.
I can't remember either. But I need to get a map of the name of the corners. That will probably help me a little bit more. But anyway.
Yeah, I remember the slang name that the Belgians call it, but I can't remember the actual name. So I'm just going to refer to the slang name, which is Piff Paff, which is a great name.
Piff Paff. As I think Blazing Splendid is now out of this race, as he was going on for a set of super softs. So I think that was a gamble to be missed, I think, unfortunately, from the Renault driver. But I think we've got... Oh, and he's left the session. He is not happy whatsoever. It looked like it wasn't a mistake of his own. Ados is on for another penalty. I don't know how many penalties Ados has got, but it looks like he's got quite a lot. By the looks of things. Jason,
I'll have a look, but I won't spoil it for anyone.
Yeah, Jason. Yeah, because you'll be probably in for a bit of a shot. I'm not going to look because otherwise it will spoil it for everyone because I'm the one streaming. So Jack could be very secretive. But anyway, Dome Thunder and Leopard, if they keep this going, they might be on for podium.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, Jack not giving any clues whatsoever to what the penalties are going to be like, but I think that's Jason's first penalty, or he might have got another one, but I don't know. But he did get quite a few last time about, I believe, but then he retired as well. But I think Dome Thunder, I think if Jason has one penalty, I don't think it's enough for Dome Thunder to claim third, unless he can find about 7 attempts going to the final lap. Leopard's definitely lost a bit of time. He's pushed his tyres, I think, to the limit. Morgan wants to know penalties. Unfortunately, we're not going to tell you until the end. We're going to keep this nice and, yeah, I'm not going to know, and I'm going to get a bit of a shock. Or you're going to get a bit of a shock. I don't know. But anyway, we're about to start the final lap of this Grand Prix. Steerage has done ever so well. He was battling against Hamilton pretty much all the race, and then Hamilton made a huge mistake in around about lap 19, lap 20, unfortunately, and that costed Hamilton, and that's gaining an advantage of steerage, which means he's gonna get the double. He's gonna get the pole and possibly get the win as well. I'm not sure. I think he's got the fastest lap, or it might be Hamilton, but fastest lap is still for the taking right now, so we'll have to find out at some point as well. But not many finishes tonight. We've had 6 retirements, but we've had some quality racing, and I think Leopard's chance of getting the top 4 is probably second to none now, as he's got a penalty as well.
Yeah. Well, I'll just say it because I don't think it'll affect the results. I don't think any of the penalties people have are going to change the results. Well, the top 2 guys don't have any, from what I saw.
Yeah, I don't think any of the top 2 have penalties by the sound of it.
I think Hamilton had a 1 warning and that was it.
Yeah, those 2 are keeping it clean throughout the race, and which is very good to see. But I am actually quite surprised how well Steerage is managing to push on these tyres. Now that he's so further, the pace is around about 6 seconds down. He can afford to conserve right now and get to the end. Hamilton's now 6 seconds down. What happened to him? Looks like he's struggling ever so slightly.
I'm not too sure. I think he's just said, "Oh, take it easy to the line," because he's not putting that much welly into it, and I think he's run out of battery as well.
Welly. As Steerage about to cross the line, he's weaving, he's celebrating with pure joy, and he goes on to win the race. What a very good race from him. He battled great battles from start to finish. It would have been nice to see a battle up to the line between these 2 guys, but unfortunately that didn't happen. But Hamilton still takes another podium, a P2. Hamilton actually won last week, so it's his 2nd podium in a row. As Dome Thunder has got P3 due to Jason's penalty. So that is interesting.
Oh, wow.
Leopard is
you must say all that right at the dying seconds then, because I don't think he had that many originally.
And Dark Phoenix is in 6th. And Ados has got a lot of penalties, but I don't think it's going to make any difference, as Cal is about 48 seconds behind Ados. I think he's around about a lap down, I think, by the looks of things. So, and yes, Hamilton definitely lost about 3 seconds in that last lap. So it looks like it's going to be a triple for steerage, pole, fastest lap, and win, which is, I think, very good. But we will see once we get the standings up. As I think he's still got, I think we're waiting for the last person to cross the line, and that is Cal, by the sounds of things. And Steerage was absolutely loving that battle with APS Hamilton. He's in the chat right now, and he was loving it. So I think it just goes to show the rivalry. Even though they want to win a championship, even though they're friends, they still want to push each other to their limit, and that's what's helping pushing them harder, which is good to see. As Cal is a person that hasn't given up, so he comes across the line in P8, which I think is very good for him, as he got a DNF last week, so he's got a finish at least. So well done to him. So it could have been worse for Cal, but he's chosen to stick with it and he's got some points on the board. And yeah, so anyway, we've got the podium. We've got two British people on the podium and an Australian on the podium. Williams returned to glory here in Spa. And an incredible drive from Steerage. As Champagne is flying now. I think the next race next week will be in the Tifosi home of
Italy.
Monza. Yeah. So I think the Ferraris would want a better result than what they had today. But Dark Phoenix did not too bad. So hopefully they'll give something to Tifosi to cheer about. Steerage takes the win with... Oh, yep, he's got fastest lap as well. So he took pole, the win, and fastest lap. So he took the hat-trick here today. Hamilton in P2, Dome Thunder in P3. The only 3 people in the top 6 not to get a penalty. Jason, I think he's got 3 penalties. Leopard in 5th, who's got 1. If Leopard didn't get that penalty in the last few laps, he would have got P4. Which is, which is a bit of a shame, really, to be honest. But Dark Phoenix in P6, Ados in P7, and Cal, your last finisher. And your non-finishers tonight, then, are Blazing Cylinder, AJH, Atlantis, Easy Fusion, Aiden and Zanardi. And Easy Fusion, Aiden and Zanardi, we lost on the first lap. So that was a bit of a shame there. But what were your thoughts of the race, Jack?
Oh wait, sorry, what? I was miles away then.
What were your thoughts of the race?
Yeah, pretty solid. I think it would have been a bit better if we had more people actually finish the race. But I think this is probably one of the lowest standards I've had in a while. Not anyone's particular fault, just people having some other priorities. It happens every now and again. But yeah, pretty solid race, particularly the top 2 APS guys battling all the way through the race. Although I think the driver of the day probably going to go to Leopard Affinity, up 7, kept his nose completely out of trouble and went some pretty rapid pace at the last gasp of the race.
Yeah, Leopard's done very well. It was unfortunately he got that penalty, but he still managed to hold it together. So yeah, that is it then for the Belgian Grand Prix. We hope you guys enjoyed that race there. Make sure you stay tuned in next week, same time for the Italian Grand Prix. And ILR1 is still going, so make sure you do check that out on Twitch. And also ILR1 and 2 for PS4 on Sunday for some more Belgian Grand Prix racing if you want, if you haven't had enough of Spa already. But anyway, until now, I've been Just Games 95. Jack has been JSR Snakes, and we will see you next week. Ta-ra now.